What is going on, everyone? I'm going to show you today how to install tow hooks or tow rings on your 2019 and up Ram 1500 if they did not come on the truck from the factory. Alright, so we're on the driver's side here, and to make things easier to get at, I turned the wheel to the driver's side, so my wheels are pointed left. And you don't have to do this, but it makes it easier to get at stuff, gives you more room, so I'd recommend doing it. Pull this panel right here that cuts across. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts holding it on. Those are 8mm, so we're gonna go ahead and remove those now. There's 3 along this edge here, along the bumper, and 2 right next to each other down there. You can see the 2 circles. I'm gonna remove those now. All right, so here we are underneath. This is the back side of the tow hook filler panel. You can see, I'll try to point here, it's kind of hard to, it's a tight area, but there's a nut right here, this black one, right there. That's an 8mm again, and there's another one right there, so there's 2 on the top. So we're gonna take those off now with our little 1/4" drive ratchet and an 8mm shallow socket. And then on the bottom, underneath, I'll show you when we get it off, it'll be easier, but there's a little metal clip that goes over these plastic posts that we got to pry off. Okay, so now we're going to use this little panel removal tool. I'll put product links in the video description if you want to buy one of these, as well as the proper bezels we're going to need for this and the tow hooks. So everything I'm using here basically I'll post. But what we're going to do is use this and get between the metal bumper tab right here, above that and below the plastic, and we're going to just kind of pry gently, and what that's going to do is create a bigger gap on the bottom. I know the lighting is poor here, but now there's a bigger gap between this metal ring that we need to get off and the metal bumper tab. So now you see I can get in here like that, and I just popped that clip off. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Once those are removed, we should be able to remove these studs. They just pull right off. All right, so this part is a little tough. You got to make a decision here. What you have to do is either get a pry bar between here and try to force this up, like so you're gonna bend the plastic up to try and get these alignment pins out of here. Problem is this metal bumper portion tab usually bends down, and I didn't want to bend the metal, so instead what I did is, you can use like a pry bar. I used this panel clip tool, but it took a lot of force, and what I did is I got on top of the bezel here, and then I pried against this cross member right here. And basically I pushed upwards, so it pried down on the bezel enough to pop it up top, and now you can kind of grab it and just remove it. This here is what we were fighting. So basically what we were doing is prying down right here and forced these down far enough to come through the metal bumper. All right, so the next step is going to be to remove this 18mm bolt. I used a wrench because I didn't have a socket and a ratchet handy. It's torqued to probably like 70 foot-pounds, give or take, so it takes a little bit of grunt to get it off, and it's pretty long too. You'll get to a point where it'll do this. You won't be able to get it out. There's like a metal round clip ring on the end of the bolt, just like there was for the plastic filler panel alignment pins. So what we're going to do is use like a crescent wrench or a vice grip and kind of set it like that on the shoulder of the bolt, and you're going to have to basically use a hammer and hit right here and try to force it past that stupid metal ring. Try not to crush your electrical connector here. Getting there. This stupid wind deflector is in the way too. It's motorized. It comes down when you're going down the highway for better aerodynamics. And of course, gets in the way. Kind of push it forward. It does flex a little bit. Obviously don't want to break it, but there we go. There's that metal junk clip. Now we're going to use a vice grip or pliers to grab on and remove what's left of this retainer ring from our bolt. Kind of rip tear. Don't need it. Now you can do one of two things. You can either kind of trace and cut out your factory filler panel, or you can buy the correct ones. Again, I'll post a link in the description where you can get these. They come as a set, and they do come with new metal clips. So before I put the new tow hook in place, I'm gonna pop this new bezel into place just to keep the painted bumper from getting scratched while installing the tow hook. All right, so we're gonna line up the plastic studs there with the holes, and then just push the top into place. And we'll go on the back side and make sure that the plastic fingers on the top are actually clipped in, since I didn't hear anything. There we go. And now we'll put the metal clips back on the bottom side. All right, now this is the old panel. I'm just showing you how we're gonna install the new clips. I don't know if you can see, but they're kind of directional. You can see the teeth are a little more aggressive on this side. You want the aggressive side to be facing down towards the ground. So if we're under the truck, you're gonna push it on so that it goes on the easy way, and then that way it has to fight the teeth for it to pop off. So it's gonna go like this, and we're gonna use this tool just to kind of push it up. All right, so we're gonna push down on the plastic while we push up on the clip so we can get it as tight as possible. Just kind of go all the way around, walk it on like that. All right, now we're going to take the little studs that we removed from the old filler panels and slide them into place in the grooves of the new panel. Should kind of click in. You want to push forward as far as they can go. Then we'll reinstall those 8mm nuts on the top. All right, I'm going to carefully feed this in from the front, trying not to bump the painted bumper. Now we're going to install this bolt that is included with the kit, and it's going to go into this threaded hole that's already there from the factory. Just going to get it started, and we can slide the tow hook. You can see there's a open slotted part there. Slide it over the shoulder, and then where we removed that bolt earlier, this little nub here is going to go into a little pocket in the tow hook, just like that. And now reinstall the long bolt that we removed earlier. Make sure that the tow hook doesn't come down and hit you. You might want to tighten this other bolt first to keep it in place for you. And again, remember, you'll probably have to bend this little deflector out of your way to get the new, to get the long bolt back in. All right, so just a note, I realized once we were putting this back together that I had the bolt on the front side of this wind deflector. It's actually easier to get in if you're on the back side of it here. So now we're coming from the back side, and much easier. Tighten these. I don't have a torque spec for them, but I would guess this one torques easily to 50 or 60. I would go up to 75, no more. The other one that we put in, that one you're probably good to 70 or 80, but just make sure they're tight. Again, this is an 18 mil for the bolt we removed, the long one. And then, although the new bolt is a metric, I found a 13/16 fits it very well. And since I don't have the proper metric for that size, that's what I'm gonna use, is a 13/16. I believe it's technically a 21mm. And repeat on the other side. All right, so now we're gonna reinstall the fender liner before we move to the other side. The 2 screws that go to the metal bracket down there are fine thread, as where the other 3 are coarse thread. Also did realize that this has holes in it, so I went ahead and started those 2 already, just a little bit. And we can actually go ahead and slip this over that and then just slide it down into the proper position. And then snap this back into place here and reinstall our other 3 screws, tighten all 5. Again, don't need to go very tight. They are just small. Just gonna use a little screw gun to put them in. All right, we have the one side done. Just thought I would show kind of a side-by-side comparison here quick before doing the other side. All right, here it is all done. I did actually find instructions after I finished. They were kind of crumpled up in the box. The big bolt that comes with the kit, the torque is 185 Newton meters, which is 135 foot-pounds. And then the long factory bolt is 115 Newton meters, which is 85 foot-pounds. So if you're gonna torque those, otherwise just make sure they're nice and tight. Again, here's a final view. I think it looks quite a bit meaner, and obviously it's a lot more functional. Again, I'll post product links in the video description if you would wish to purchase all this. If this video helped you out, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell notification buttons for more videos like this, and check me out on Facebook at Tony the Truck Guy. Thanks for watching.